JutAI TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Somnium Files. In the previous episode, we completed the Mizuki route. Today's episode right now, we're going to go back into this classified case, and we're going to go into the Hitomi route. If you're happy today's episode, make sure that like button supports Great Picture channel as we're going to continue our investigation on this. Oh yeah, this part where Iris's right eye was taken out. So we'll see what happens. In other cases, they've been in the left eye, including in the other worlds where Iris's left eye has been taken out. But this one, it shows her right eye was taken.
Have you settled down? The scene is being inspected without you. This time the body didn't disappear. However, you lost consciousness. I didn't expect you to faint. Seeing that corpse must have been incredibly shocking. I did not predict you to be the fainting type. I suppose humans are unpredictable. Now that you're back, let's get back to business. You are conscious, are you not? Are you at a loss for words? Date, don't let negative thoughts consume you.
Hello, game, move. Thank you.
That Iris died because of me. If I never took her to Ota's, this wouldn't have happened. If you truly believe that, then your brain is completely rotten. Or perhaps when you saw the corpse, your head became filled with images of blooming yellow dandelions.
What?
Oh, you're talking now. Was I correct? If you consider the situation logically, even an elementary school student would understand.
Huh?
Fine. Allow me to pluck some of those dandelions from your mind. I will ask 3 questions. Please answer honestly. First question. The cold storage warehouse was not in regular operation. But even so, the AC was on, and a minus 58-degree temperature was maintained. Why is that?
Why does the warehouse have to be keep freezing temperature? To preserve something?
To preserve something?
Yes. Let us move on to the next question. Second question. There was something strange about the corpse. Do you remember what that was?
The eye. It was missing the right eye.
That is a unique factor. But there was something else, something more peculiar.
More than that, it was completely frozen. It was hidden in the engine compartment.
The culprit was afraid that the body would be discovered, so they hid it under the hood. But why there? The ocean is right here. If they really wanted to hide the body, they could have put weights on it and sunk it into the water.
But we do not know for certain that the culprit was attempting to dispose of the body. There is something more unusual. What is unnatural about that?
Isn't it strange?
I mean, we got rid of the
Culprit hid the body
freaking
because they
right
didn't
eye
want it to
factor,
be
so
found.
what else is there?
But then they cover it with a cloth? That implies they thought that someone would eventually find it.
I explained earlier. The body may not have been hidden by the culprit. And even if they were responsible, It is not uncommon that murderers feel a sudden urge of remorse or pity for their victim.
So the cloth was a sign of pity?
That is a possibility.
Iris's body was completely frozen. The temperature read -58. With Iris's weight... Just wondering, but how much do you weigh?
Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady that?
105 pounds.
I see. 105, huh? It should have taken about 18 hours to freeze solid. But we were...
Wait a moment. Before you draw your conclusion, allow me to ask my final question. Two days ago, Sunday night, you found a dead body in the cold storage warehouse.
Was a double? Will this game freaking load faster?
But afterward, you visited the Sagan household and discovered that Iris was in fact still alive. Why?
Because we saved her. We saved her and so Somnium.
Date, think logically. What occurs in dreams does not affect reality. And parallel worlds? That is even less possible. So if that's the case...
It was a dream.
No, Date. You're overthinking it. You saw the corpse, but Iris was alive, which means...
You mean...
You've got it.
I don't believe it.
The stomach is swollen slightly. She appears to have been pregnant.
How?
Do not worry. The uterus does not contain a fetus.
You mean after she was killed?
No, the fetus was not present in her body when she was killed. She must have been killed after giving birth. The distended stomach does not immediately shrink after birth. The expanded uterus takes some time to return to its normal size.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, we pointed this, which is the shoulder. But that part right here is pregnant, so... If this is not Iris, then who's this then? Like, huh?
This evidence makes one thing perfectly obvious.
This corpse isn't Iris. It's someone else.
Which means...
Iris is still alive.
Not necessarily. She could be alive. We haven't confirmed that yet. Multiple stab wounds with a single-edged, sharp object to the victim's back. Judging by the size and shape of the marks, the weapon was most likely a kitchen knife. This matches what you said on Sunday.
So this is the body I saw then. Is there an estimated time of death?
Impossible to determine. This body has been completely frozen for at least 10 years.
10 years? She was killed more than 10 years ago?
Exactly. Her identity is unknown. Her killer is also unknown. But there is one likely suspect.
Who?
Let's consider the clues. The scene. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Sunday night, we saw So here. And there is something else about So Sejima. We witnessed someone similar to Iris being stabbed repeatedly in So's Somnium.
But it wasn't Iris. It was this woman.
That is highly likely.
What we saw was So's memory from more than 10 years ago.
I believe that is the case.
Renju and So?
But we still do not know where Renju is.
That means that we need to talk to
So Sejima.
I thought I told you never to show your face here again.
I didn't come here for Shoko today. I didn't come here for Iris either. Instead, I'm here for a girl who looks like Iris. Did you kill her?
Date, look.
I knew it. You killed her, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've had enough of your shit, Congressman! You wanted to check on the body of the girl you killed. That's why you were at the cold storage warehouse 2 days ago. Where is Renju Okiura? You know where he is, don't you? You were at an Okiura fishery warehouse for a reason. There's definitely a connection between you two. And that's not all. Number 89 called your secretary. The same number 89 that Renju escaped with. Now tell me, where is Renju?
We'd like to ask you to please leave.
Damn it, So!
There's nothing we can do. We did arrive without a warrant. We were technically trespassing. If he had called the police, we would be in a predicament. We would have been detained immediately. Who would look after Iris then? Do you intend to leave your responsibility with Mizuki and Ota?
Ah!
Calm down, Date. We still have our lead.
Lead?
Before I explain, we need to discuss the corpse in the cold storage warehouse. Let's give her a name. Because she is frozen solid, we could call her All Ice or Alice. What do you think? Alice and Iris. I believe it fits nicely.
All right, Alice. What about her?
Someone might be able to identify her.
Who?
Allow me to ask you 3 questions.
Again with this?
First question. You have seen this corpse more than twice. 3 times, in fact. When was the first time? That was the second time. When my body was out of commission and you went to the warehouse on your own. I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about the very first time.
Three days ago. Saturday night when I synced at Abyss.
Yes, in the Somnium world. We saw the frozen corpse of a girl. Question 2. Who is the girl? Huh? Are you serious? How did you come to that conclusion? A virus? She will take this serious.
Now I know. That girl was probably Alice.
Most likely, yes. So we have technically known Alice for 3 days.
Who's Alice?
One last thing.
Who's Alice? Where in the world did we find Alice in this? Excuse me? Who in the world is Alice? We have not encountered a person named Alice at all. Excuse me? It's like, where did you get all this? Alice. 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 Yeah, I don't know. Where the heck did you get that?
The final question. In which Somnium did we see Alice? I understand your logic. We did see Alice in So's Somnium. In that sense, your answer is not incorrect. However, I mean specifically Alice's frozen corpse. Whose brain were we synced to then?
My roommate, Mizuki Okiura.
Exactly. You mentioned something about Mizuki's Somnium being some kind of prophecy. But prophecies are nonsense. Dreams are not made of the future. They are made from the past. Therefore...
Mizuki has seen Alice before.
there is no other explanation.
Aiba, where is Mizuki now?
Where we went with Iris yesterday, Ikume Shrine.
When have we ever
Shrine?
encountered a
Why
person
would she
named
be there?
Alice?
Unknown.
Who? When? Where?
She is supposed to be
There was
looking
no
for
one by
Iris.
that name. It's not shown in the freaking dictionary, whatever.
Okay,
So
let's go.
where have we encountered that name? That don't make sense.
Date,
Did you find Iris?
if I did, I would have told you already.
Right.
I think he's searching Akihabara right now. Last time he checked in, he said he didn't have anything.
I think Iris is with Renju.
With Daddy?
Yeah. Her note mentioned her most trusted person. That's probably Renju.
Yeah. I remember that mermaid girl saying something like that.
Oh my god, will you? Thank you, load. Thank you, get away. Thank you. Now move on.
So I need to know where he is.
But I haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Mizuki, I have something very important to ask you. You've seen her before, haven't you? 3 days ago, I saw her in your Somnium. The body of a girl who looks like Iris, Alice. Your dreams are built from your memories. So that corpse... Mizuki, please, answer me. Iris's life is at stake.
Huh? What do you mean?
I need to know everything about Alice. If I find out who she is, I might be able to solve the mystery of Renju and number 89. And that might lead me to Iris.
Okay, I'll tell you about Alice. It was about a month ago. I saw my daddy crying in the president's office at Lemniscape. I was peeking through a crack in the door so he didn't see me. Daddy got up, then got into his car and drove away. I had never seen him like that before. I was curious, so I followed him in a taxi. That led me to the cold storage warehouse. He got out of his car and went inside. I followed right behind him, quietly. Daddy was standing next to the forklift in the back. I hid behind a shelf. I watched Daddy open the hood of the forklift, and then, after a little bit, he left. I wanted to know what he was looking at. I went over to the forklift and I looked under the hood myself. And then...
You saw Alice's dead body.
But at the time, I thought it was Iris. The corpse looked exactly like Iris. I couldn't believe she was dead. I just couldn't. So I went to Iris's house.
Huh? What's wrong, Mizuki?
Iris was alive. I thought I was going crazy or dreaming. I tried to convince myself that it was just a hallucination. What was I supposed to do? Daddy would have been in trouble.
So you kept quiet this whole time?
Yeah. What do you mean? I couldn't just ask. It would have changed everything. I thought that as long as I stayed quiet, everything would be okay. I didn't see a dead body. I wasn't even at the warehouse. I repeated that to myself over and over and tried to forget the whole thing.
Repressed memories are often the subject of somnia.
That's why Alice showed up during the sync.
I actually met with one of the higher-ups at Daddy's company last night, before I went to Matsushita Diner.
Why?
Because you asked about the cold storage. I was curious. I asked around some, and... After my grandpa died, Daddy took over. In exchange for managing the warehouse, he gave ownership of the company to someone else. I guess he didn't want to let this place go. Or maybe he couldn't let it go. That's more accurate, I think. But I understand why. Inside that warehouse was... Daddy was still managing the warehouse. And he was the only one allowed in there, too. That was part of the agreement when he gave up the company. And the whole thing had to be a secret. He really stressed that point.
Hey, Mizuki, how long was he managing the warehouse?
For 18 years. That's what the man told me.
18 years? From that long ago?
Yes.
Iba, I need an emergency search. Missing persons from 18 years ago.
Understood.
Huh?
Date, I found her. The girl who looks like Iris.
What's her name?
Monica Iwai, 19 years old at the time of her disappearance. A graduate of Eitoku High School.
What?
Renju was my classmate at Eitoku High. We've known each other for 20 years now.
I'm gonna give this a try. Is Iris
When I was
adopted?
I lost someone very important to me.
Is Iris adopted?
Monica Iwai, my best friend. One of the only friends I had.
Alice is... Monica. Hitomi's friend who went to the same school as her and Renju.
So let me get this straight. She was pregnant at the time, but she was able to give birth to a newborn baby before she was murdered. And then I would assume Hitomi decided to take care of Iris. Is that correct? And Alice is just a name where they just decided to give it up. But I'm just like, bruh, out of all the names you would say, you would just pick Alice? Like, come on now.
But why? Monica's body was found just now. But even back then, Hitomi knew. She knew that Monica was already dead. Iba, where is Hitomi right now?
At headquarters for questioning. MPD still believes that the body they discovered was Iris.
Got it. Contact boss. Have them bring Hitomi to Abyss.
Roger that.